So stage 1 of the RS6 decarbon begins. So we've covered up the wheels because we've put them on previously and I'm not quite ready to show you those just yet. So the seats have been taken out. They were taken out last week and they've gone off to the company that will remain nameless to have them trimmed. They've arrived back this morning and they look absolutely mega. Can't wait to show you those, but they'll come later in this video. So we've pulled the car in. Mitch and Mikey are both in there, but Mitch is working his way through, taking off all the bits of carbon that we don't like. So we've managed to source most of these bits off eBay, bits off an A6, some bits off an RS6, and then a few bits we couldn't get from any of those have come from TPS. We've had to buy brand new bits, but we've no doubt missed something. So Mitch is starting the process now, removing all the trims, putting on the bits we've got, so we can then stand back and go, right, we need to decarbon that bit or decarbon that bit. While Mitch is in there, he's going to work on the audio, so sorting out the speakers and the sub package and stuff, and working out the wire and any speaker adapters and stuff he needs, but also work on the infotainment system. So removing the original out-of-date system and then replacing it with a new Android touchscreen CarPlay system. So I'll hand you over to Mitch while he starts ripping out all this carbon and adding the replacement gloss black, piano black parts instead.
You're getting asked why I'm removing this panel. Because I'm taking head bars out. Head bars? Roof bars out.
Roof rails.
Roof rails. Because you have to take that panel out to get that out. But I need to get that out. So you need to take that out. To then take that out. To then take that out. To then take that out. So you can get the headliner out. To then undo the roof bars. So I have to take off the threshold strip to take the roof bars out.
Simple as that.
Simple.
So that's loads of the work done. Mitch has done a large amount of the decarbon and a bunch of other bits to it. So us being Navis, obviously this eventually will have Navis wheels on it. So we've done all the design work for them. They're going to be coming in a future video because they're still being produced in the factory. But as I said in the first video, I cannot stand the Rotiform CVT. So I reached out to Rotiform, who are good friends of ours. This wheel was my choice from Rotiform. I'd seen it on another RS6, a really cool red one that's been doing the rounds, and I just had to have a set of these on here. So they look so good. So if you've not seen them before, these are the Rotiform AVS in 22-inch, and I think it's transformed the look of the vehicle outside. So next up, this is going back into the workshop, and Mitch is going to work on the air suspension. So it previously had air suspension in it, it had AccuAir. Now we're taking all that off and putting the Solo management in it. I got to drive this vehicle for a little while in between, and I was a massive AccuAir fan before. I preferred that over the other well-known management that's out there until I got used to using the Solo management. I have it in various different vehicles, and I realised after using AccuAir in it, it just kind of felt dated. I missed the fact that I wanted to be able to see what was going on the screen. I wanted the touch screen, and I wanted the more modern feel. So as much as AccuAir was great, that's come off, and we're now putting the Solo management on it. So we're going to head back in the workshop, and Mitch is going to get that swapped over. Right, so we're finally complete at this stage. We're done as much as we need to on this vehicle, so I just wanted to run you down and show you in a bit more detail what's happened in the time since the previous video. So as you'll see, the most obvious thing on this is the wheels have changed. The Solo management has changed, so we've gone from AccuAir to Solo. As I said previously, it's just I wanted that more up-to-date software. I wanted to be able to see the screen. I wanted the features that AccuAir just didn't have, and how I'd got used to management working in all our modern vehicles. In between, a big part of this build was decarboning it, so Mitch went round and changed anything that was factory. Carbon has stayed, but he's changed all the other bits that were added to the gloss black detail, and just tried to make it look more OEM inside. One of the big things I wanted to change to update this was I wanted to change the seats. So the original seats that were in there, they just looked a bit tired and worn because of how old the vehicle was, and I didn't like the lighter grey interior, so we've kept the light grey Alcantara throughout the headline in, but we've completely retrimmed all the seats, and they're new full black leather, and they've got the newer RS6 stitch pattern in it just to give it that more modern feel. Another thing that I'd realised while using this vehicle is the infotainment system on it was just so dated. It wasn't touchscreen, and it seemed alien. The amount of times I found myself trying to touch the screen with the wired CarPlay in there. So Mitch found the unit that we've showed you fitted in this, which has revolutionised really this vehicle. Now you get in, the CarPlay connects straight away. All your features that you're used to in a modern vehicle is there in a larger, bright colour touchscreen that still folds away, still looks OEM, but just makes the whole infotainment system feel so much more up to date than the original one that was period correct for this car without looking like a Chinese bolt-on. So as part of the air install, as well as changing the management, we switched the compressors out. So this had twin 444 Viair compressors, which back in the day 10 years ago, that was what we all fitted to our vehicles, and we all just accepted the fact that it was noisy. So the install in this vehicle is in the boot, and it just, when I first got in this and started it up and aired up, I just remembered that the Viair compressor was so noisy. So what we had to do is switch those out for the Solo compressors, which are now in there. So you can barely hear this now when the vehicle starts up. So much better and so much less annoying for the neighbours. So the theme of this whole video is to get this vehicle and make it ours and decarbon it. Well, what actually happened when I started sharing some pictures of it, a lot of people really like the carbon. It's not my thing, but I appreciate it costs a lot of money, and to some people it really suits them and they liked it. So the decision was made not to decarbon the outside because a lot of work went into it, and in some lights, and if you like carbon, it does look really good. So a lot of the carbon had just started to look tired. So there was only one thing we could do there, that was to send it to our friend Steve over at Loughborough Paintworx to get him to tidy up the carbon, or tidy up the lacquer on the carbon. So just running you through around the vehicle, the bonnet had just started to show signs of wear and stone chips. So Steve's flattened all that back and re-lacquered it. There was a couple of chips in the wings. They all look like brand new now with what Steve's done. The grille, as you'll still see, is still the original grille with the carbon on, but when this vehicle goes for a wrap, that's going to have a brand new grille in it, the OEM grille in gloss black, so we can lose this carbon. So at the minute that still looks tatty. Steve had sorted out, like as I said, all the wings and the bonnet. The other thing, round the rear, the spoiler had started to lift. So along the edge of the spoiler here, you could see all the bubbling of the carbon, which Steve's flatted all back and lacquered, so it just looks like it did the day it was built. The other thing that was massively obvious from the outside of this vehicle previously was it had the carbon roof rails, and they made the vehicle look more tatty than anything because the carbon was bubbling. So we found some roof rails off another vehicle, which we've painted matte black to go on the vehicle. On the side of the vehicle, the pillar trims, they were all carbon, started to bubble and looking tired and dated. So we got the original piano black ones put on there. You'll see there's still a bit of trim missing just here. So we tried to track down those bits off a few vehicles, and we managed to get a breaker of an RS6 to get some bits off, but it was all twisted. It had been all twisted and bent when it was taken off. We sent that to Andy Kelly to wrap, but we came back and it just didn't look right. So Mitch then found another vehicle not so far away. He went over and insisted on removing the trims from that vehicle himself. Those trims went over to Andy Kelly at Signs and Graphics UK, and they've wrapped them all for us in gloss black. We've not put them back on the vehicle as yet, because the vehicle's going for a wrap, and it's only going to have to come off again, and it saves them getting damaged. But externally, removing those few bits of carbon trim has really made a big difference. It makes it look so much more neater and tidier and less tired and worn than like it did before. The carbon handles have stayed for the same reason that I think somebody will like them, and the carbon wing mirrors have stayed. But again, when this goes for a wrap, that's going to be gone anyway. I won't have to see it. And it won't be on show at our next show. So this vehicle, the plan is to get this vehicle ready for Ultimate Stance, which will be where we first launch it, with the new wrap on it, and also with the Navis wheels, which are pretty special. It's a nod to our first wheel we ever did, but designed in RS6 fitment with a super deep concave. So I've seen them, I've seen the renders of them, I've seen the factory working on them. I'm really excited to get them on the vehicle, but as I said, that's coming in the next phase. There will be a full colour transformation. So we're going to send the vehicle off to have a full wrap in a colour that I don't think anybody's expecting. This is also, as well as having the new Navis wheels on it, Mitch is going to take it inside and update all the audio. So originally when this vehicle was built, it had a big audio package put on it. When that was sold on to the next owner, that audio package was removed and it was put pretty much back to standard. It does sound pretty poor. So Mitch has asked me if he can put it back to a better than its original glory and improve the audio on it. So that will feature as well in the next episode. Interior wise, we decided the best thing to do was do a full retrim. So it's full black leather, Napa leather with the grey Audi stitch, perforated centres with a pattern which echoes what a modern RS6 would be. So it's updated it, just made it feel more modern internally. All the factory carbon has stayed, as we said, but wherever there was aftermarket carbon added, that's all been changed. This all around the infotainment system, which is now bigger and a brighter screen, has all been changed back to the gloss back carbon. The steering wheel currently is the original carbon one, which I absolutely loathe. I hate it. I hate the feel of it, I hate the look of it, and I hate this control here, but that's being changed. So in the next video, we'll show you the new steering wheel that's going to go on there. It's the small things, it's the minor things that please me so much about the change in this vehicle. And one of the things is, in here was a hidden AccuAir controller, but it took up this lovely space. So now we've got this solo management just here. We've got this space here to pop phones and keys again. It's a big, deep, usable cubby hole, which has just made it just nicer to be able to put your bits in when you're driving the vehicle. Centre console was also retrimmed in the same black leather with the same grey Audi stitch in it. You would have remembered before there was carbon everywhere, and one of the things with these pieces here were carbon. So we swapped parts of the door card out. We decided to keep the original grey Alcantara here to tie in with the headlining, just to brighten it up a little bit instead of going back to the leather. But all of these carbon pieces have been swapped out for the standard OEM black plastic, and I just think it just looks better. I like it, much prefer it, much cleaner, neater look. And the carbon weave before was ever so slightly different from the factory weave. You could look at it and notice that it didn't match in exactly the same way. So finally round the back here we've added badges. It's a small thing, but I just always thought the back looked so empty not having the badges on it. I get that's that kind of minimalist theme, but for me it just detracted from the fact it was an Audi and it was an RS6. So we just tracked down the badges. So we've gone for a gloss black Audi badge and the RS6 badge just there, just to kind of tell people what it is, although you can definitely hear what it is. Break up the rear space. And then finally, this is a number plate I've been holding on to for quite a while. It did the scene on somebody else's car many years ago. Saw it come up for sale and I couldn't not buy it. So the number plate So Lower has gone on this vehicle. So that's it for this vehicle. A hell of a lot of work has gone into making it look a little bit different until you study the finer detail, but drives so much nicer. It just feels more modern and up to date. The management improved dramatically, the infotainment system. I mean, this is a weapon of a car, and I feel like we're just modernising it and taking some of that kind of age-related marks and scars that it had over the time of it being a show car and just used as a daily. So for us, this is all about building another show car. Next stage of this video, as I said, audio install, full wrap in a new colour, new wheels on it, and then we'll have this thing ready to show you all, hopefully at ultimate stance. Hope you've enjoyed this video. Please do hit that like button, share this video with anybody that might be interested in RS6s or transporters or everything else we put on our videos. And as always, thanks for watching.